You've just heard about two initiatives that, that use NextGen and the CNU overall to advance a particular project within the urbanist movement. I'm going to change gears now and tell you about an initiative that serves other initiatives by making it easier for urbanists with similar interests to connect and get stuff done. And that initiative is known as the Open Source Congress. It's basically an ongoing pop-up Congress that participants create during the annual meeting of the CNU. If you've never participated before, picture it as a marketplace in which people find each other to discuss ideas, challenges, and projects that we wish to advance. You'll get a taste of it today, actually, when we use the open source format this afternoon. What I want to tell you about the Open Source Congress this morning is that it epitomizes the opportunities that are available to us as members of the CNU. Personal initiative and responsibility are all you really need in order to make projects happen in the context of this organization and movement. And similarly, personal initiative and responsibility are the foundation of the open source format. It might seem, to those of you who are new, it might seem inevitable and long established now, but the Open Source Congress was on nobody's agenda until around 2001 when Jennifer Hurley, a fellow member, whom you might meet this week, attended her first CNU. She noticed the sheer amount of talent and experience at the Congress and felt that an opportunity was being lost when there was so little room in the schedule for people to interact. Early Congresses had included a lot more interaction, but by 2001 they had become more of a conventional conference in which collaboration was mostly relegated to the hallways in between sessions. Many members regretted that. Jennifer had attended other conferences in which a format called open space technology was used to create a marketplace for ideas and interaction, and she thought it would be a good fit for the CNU. She suggested it for the first NextGen program, and the suggestion stuck. Over time, Jen introduced the format at other CNU gatherings and eventually proposed that it become part of the mainstream program of the CNU, but nothing happened with that proposal until a group of NextGeners helped her organize and staff the first Open Source Congress on a volunteer basis, and we changed the name, and it grew incrementally from there. My experience as a CNU volunteer and a recent open source co-chair is that no CNU initiative takes root without the kind of do-it-yourself commitment that the Open Source Congress represents. But just about anything can take root with it. This is blank on purpose because there's no picture to show for what's going on right now. My current initiative that I'm working on, along those lines is probably on its way to demonstrating the same point. For a few years now, I've been suggesting that there are ways of holding a Congress that would be truer to our principles as urbanists than our current model is. Meeting in a convention center is convenient, but it has a way of segregating us from the city that we're in, and when we leave, there's no sign that we've ever been there, which is pretty funny when you consider that this is a gathering of people whose mission is placecraft. I've been sowing this idea throughout the CNU, and I generally meet with nods of agreement, but until recently, nothing came of it. As I've mentioned, initiatives only happen when someone cares enough to take responsibility for bringing that idea to life. So that's what I'm doing. 8 weeks ago, I applied to occupy a storefront in downtown North Adams, Mass. During the month of September as part of their infill economic development program. They've assigned us to 107 Main Street, the biggest storefront they have. That storefront's going to be our base for a festival of exhibits and events with a placemaking mission. Mike Lydon and Tony Garcia will be guest curating part of it. Chuck Marone will be presenting. And I'm hoping that many members of the CNU, including some of the people in this room, will take advantage of the opportunity to lead events in collaboration with us and the North Adams community. You can just talk to me if you're interested. The festival is called Imagining North Adams, though you also hear some of the NextGeners refer to it by the nickname Build a Better Congress, because like open source, that's one of the aims of this project. We think that we can have a bigger impact as urbanists if we take advantage of our annual meeting to demonstrate our values through our actions. If you take anything away from watching me launch this initiative, or from our presentations today, I hope it will be the encouragement to join an initiative that's working on an issue that you care about, or else start an initiative of your own. If you're unsure of how to begin and want someone to coach you, any of the speakers on today's agenda will be able to fill you with ideas for how to begin. My name's Jennifer Krause, and I was a newcomer to CNU as recently as 2007. I didn't know a soul when I walked into that conference center, and so I'd like to extend a special welcome to the people who are here for the first time. Thank you.